What is a marketplace? Well, marketplace, if you look at Wikipedia, this is the description they give. It's basically a platform connecting demand and supply, and the transaction takes place on the marketplace itself. So as soon as you do so, they say a wholesaler or a retailer will send the product to the end consumer. In my opinion, that's more and more the brand. So we're doing a lot of things with brands. So that landscape is changing rapidly, especially the last year and a half. So if you look at the whole retail landscape, distribution, it was basically you either were a brand owner, manufacturer, an agent, a distributor, retailer, e-tailer, and that part's sold to the end consumer. Due to B2B e-commerce platforms, a lot of agents have disappeared. And then we got a phase where a lot of e-commerce stores started selling on marketplaces. The thing is, most of these e-commerce stores didn't want to have any stock. So they asked suppliers, that can be distributors or brands, they asked the suppliers to actually start drop shipping for them. The natural result is that a lot of these brands and manufacturers say, well, if we already drop ship for you and we deliver you the content, what do I need a retailer for? So distributors are selling directly on marketplace, but brands are selling directly on marketplace as well. Brands are also selling directly to consumers. If you look at fashion, that's the first vertical that you see doing both direct to consumer manufacturing. You see it in the shopping streets, in retail as well, that a lot of the stores are brand owners as well. So retailers that usually bought the products, multi-brand retailers, actually started doing more and more white label products, their own product, to be able to not only compete on margin or on price, but also having a unique proposition. So basically, every step in the chain can design a product, have it produced, and sell it to the end consumer. Basically through technology and through a unique combination between retail, marketplaces, direct-to-consumer shops, etc. So what's changing online? A lot of people that sell online think Google is the main driver of product searches. That's actually not the case anymore. So if you look especially in US, Canada, Germany, and many other places, most of the product searches already take place on marketplaces. So that's not only Amazon, that's many other places as well. So you can see this product searches went down from Google. So somewhere in between 2015, 2018, Amazon actually surpassed Google in terms of product searches. Google doesn't like it, so they want to chase Amazon and grab it back. So I'll dive a little bit deeper into that as well. Another thing that has been changing is that large e-commerce platforms are turning into marketplaces. A good example in Germany is Zalando, a large fashion e-commerce platform. I think they're doing 3.9 billion at the moment. In the Netherlands, it's bol.com. There are many other examples of e-commerce stores turning into a marketplace. It's not always visible, so sometimes it's very clear that they are a marketplace, and sometimes they use dropshipment capabilities. So the essential difference between being a marketplace and being a dropshipment e-commerce platform is that on a marketplace, it's very clear who is selling it in the background. And also the seller on the marketplace is shown and they are in control of the prices. Another big change, I think the biggest change in the next couple of years, is that every click generating platform is experimenting with becoming a marketplace or becoming transactional. So in the recent years or the last 15, 20 years, all the shops are focused on getting clicks and high conversion ratios, etc. What would happen if Google and Instagram are turning into a transaction-based model instead of sending you clicks? On the left, you see a sort of analytics screen capture of a lot of e-commerce stores look a little bit like this. What would happen if the first two would slowly disappear and you would only get transactions directly? How does that look like? I don't know if you guys ever saw Google Shopping. There has been a lot of news about it last year. Google Shopping Actions is basically the next step in Google Shopping, where you do the transaction online in the platform itself. So you never end up in the e-commerce store. So basically Google will become a marketplace. It's not that far away in the US. If you go to shopping.google.com or just google.com through a VPN, or when you're in the US, see this. So when you search for a product, you go to shopping, and there's already an option saying, well, do you want to buy on Google? And you actually check out on Google. So in this case, it's Best Buy. There's brands selling directly on Google Shopping, but also bigger retailers. So that's a threat for e-commerce stores itself, but it's also a big opportunity if you're ready for the next step. If you look at shopping, actually the new marketplace they launched. And the thing is, if you log into shopping.google.com with your Google account, it's remarkable how good the recommendations are, because they know your email, they know where you are, because you probably have an Android phone or a Google app on your phone. So it's going to be a big platform. Another big platform driving traffic to fashion, home decoration is Instagram. At the moment, you can already see, I think 40 or 50 brands are already on Instagram checkout. So as soon as you're inspired, you click on the product and you can actually purchase it. Instagram will already have the credit card details of a client, so it's actually 2 clicks and the product is in your basket order. And in near future, there's going to be in-chat commerce, where you pay within the chat screen of Facebook Messenger or any other support channel. Lego is experimenting with it as well. And it has been there for years in China. So WeChat is already a full-blown e-commerce platform. There are many other channels as well. So most people only think of Amazon. Most people don't know Wish, which is the blue app on the left. It's an app-only marketplace. It already has over 500 million users. It's got $1 billion in funding and is growing very rapidly. There's a lot of direct-to-consumer directly from China, but there are more and more brands coming on board as well. It's fully machine learning optimized, so everyone having the app and gets a different product recommendation. Actually, you get different prices as well. So if we load into Wish different products with the product price and the shipping price, Wish will distribute the total cost depending on whether you're biased towards free shipping or whether you're biased to cheap products. So that's an interesting platform that's raising, and there are more and more platforms coming up as well. Another big shift is Amazon. So I know you guys also work with big brands. Most of them probably are a vendor on the Amazon model, which they call is a 1P vendor model, the first party model. So Amazon buys it from the brand, keeps it in stock, and then sells it for the price they want. There's a lot of discussions because Amazon is in control of the pricing. Usually they drop the price, and then after one season, they go to the brand and say, well, we lost a lot of margin because the price was so low, so you need to give us a bit better purchase price. So there's another model that's a 3P model, the marketplace model, where everybody can open an account, brands, retailers, distributors, and they can sell directly to the end consumer on Amazon. The biggest difference is that the brand will be in control of the pricing, of the content. They don't have to rely on purchase orders from Amazon. And actually, last year was the first year that there was more than 50%, 58% actually, of the sales of Amazon going through the 3P model, so the marketplace model. And Amazon is rapidly shifting towards that model. So if you look at small buyers, small brands, they call any brand below 10 million, they call a small brand. So last year, they actually stopped sending in purchase orders without any notification. But you can imagine if you do a couple of million in revenues in purchase orders from Amazon and you don't get any purchase orders anymore, that's a big hit. So they are shifting towards a marketplace model. And we also do a few very large brands. They do more than 100 million as a vendor on Amazon. And they are slowly moving towards the seller model in a hybrid way. So the hybrid is that they actually, Amazon purchases certain products from their product catalog, and the rest they sell on the marketplace model. Bol.com, large Dutch marketplace platform, is doing the same thing. So everything is moving towards a marketplace model, which is essential. The brands are preparing for that as well. If you're a brand, why do you need to directly control the marketplaces? A brand should be in control of the content. So some of the brands I speak to say, well, we have resellers doing it, but usually the reseller, they rely on the resellers to put content online. Usually it isn't that attractive, or not the right pictures and not the right text. I spoke to Garmin, and they had a big issue because a reseller put a product online saying the battery life of their watch was 6 weeks, which wasn't the case. So they got a lot of complaints. So a brand needs to be in control. Also, they need to be in control of which products are found on the marketplace. So if someone is searching on Amazon, they're usually searching for women's sneakers. So as a brand, you want to make sure your product is there, and you don't want to rely on your resellers to do it. Also, it's important to be able to monitor resellers, monitor the availability of your products and the pricing levels. Why is that important? So this is an example from one of our clients, JBL. One of the resellers put a product online with just one image, almost no reviews and no text. So that's not very good for your brand recognition. This is an example of what they did themselves. A lot of variations and bullet points, etc., and keywords, and those products are very well found. But then it's only one platform. There's so many more. There's Allegro, there's Cdiscount, there's Cprice, there's Cdon in Sweden, of course Google, Instagram, and all that needs to be managed. Opportunities for brands. Well, selling direct to marketplaces versus a vendor model gives you way more control. You can use the same logistical infrastructure. So especially fashion brands, but more other verticals as well, have started doing a direct-to-consumer e-commerce store. And when you use a platform like ChannelEngine, you can connect into that store and sell directly on marketplaces using the same team, using the same logistics infrastructure, the same customer service. I always recommend to work closely together with a few quality resellers on the marketplace, because a reseller can do something with prices. Usually the brand doesn't drop prices as a first party, but you don't want 30 or 50 resellers on a marketplace, because if you have so many resellers on the marketplace, it's going to be very price competitive. And also, if the quality of the reseller isn't that high and somebody delivers a bad service, you actually see clients write a bad review about your product while it's actually about a bad service. Another option for brands is when they have the capability of ship direct to consumer, they can do things like size filling. So we're doing, for one retailer, Adidas is filling the sizes. So on their e-commerce store, if they miss a size in a product range, Adidas can fill it and drop ship the item. And they can extend the shelf. So there's a long tail. If the retailer only has 50 models on stock, the brand itself can extend that with all their products that the brand has in stock as well. Then, of course, there are already also opportunities for retailers. Retailers can benefit from our infrastructure. So usually, the bigger e-commerce players have a very high-level logistics operations and customer service operation, and that's essential to be able to sell well on the marketplace. They can work closely together with the brand to make sure they're allowed to sell on the marketplace. Some brands just have a very selective distribution strategy. So if you do well, you work closely together, that can help for both the brand and the retailer as well. And retailers can can extend their offering by becoming a marketplace. But to do that, you need to be a destination, to get people in there already. Otherwise, you have to buy traffic through Google or through social media. And that's going to be more and more difficult in the coming years. Total impact. So if you look at the retail e-commerce sales worldwide, 2.8 trillion US dollars, which is 2.8 million US dollars. That is growing to 4.9 in 2021. We estimate that more than 75% will go through a marketplace or dropshipping model by that time, which is basically more revenue going through such a model than last year in total in revenue in e-commerce globally. To give you a sense of perspective, on marketplaces, Alibaba has 8.5 million sellers. Amazon has 5 million sellers, and there's 200,000 new accounts every month. So not all of them are successful. I think it's a small percentage that are actually selling well on Amazon, but the ones that are selling well are doing extremely well. And then you have a lot of local heroes. So there's Bol.com in the Netherlands, Allegro in Poland, Cdiscount in France, etc. And they usually have anywhere between 10 and 40,000 sellers on the platform. The good thing is on such smaller platforms, it's easier to get your products afloat. So if you sell something on Amazon, you have to compete with 600 million products. If you sell something on one of the smaller platforms, you usually compete within a couple of million products, which per category is much easier to get your products found in the search results. So we actually see clients sell more on smaller marketplaces than they sell on Amazon. And then it's interesting to see how we can leverage that and making sure we get all the orders in from all those platforms. And of course, we build a solution for that. We can dive a bit into that part.